Every major sneaker brand has tried to turn their most iconic shoe into a skate shoe at some point, and sometimes they turn out great like that Nike Air Force 1, and sometimes they leave me really wanting more like the Nike Air Max. But honestly, most of the old classics turned skate shoes are more expensive and worse than other cheaper, more technically advanced shoes that the brand makes. So now it's Converse's turn, the Chuck Taylor. The Chuck Taylor is the oldest basketball shoe ever made, and it probably predates your great-grandparent. And Converse has a whole skate line called CONS, and the flagship of that line is the Chuck Taylor All-Star Pro Suede. Same silhouette, same look from across the room, but Converse claims they re-engineered it underneath for skateboarding. The Chuck Taylor barely looks different from its skate version, so I bought both, the regular Chuck Taylor at $65, the CONS Pro Suede at $85, and the dark horse contender, the Chuck 70 at $95. And when I cut all these in half, I found the real changes Converse made, and one of them tells you exactly whether they did it right or they did it fast. A little Chuck lore first. You need to understand what the Chuck Taylor is because nothing in sneaker history is older or more culturally embedded than this shoe. So the Chuck Taylor All-Star came out in 1917. The Chuck Taylor is older than Takis, sliced bread, penicillin, the cheeseburger, Mickey Mouse, and the Empire State Building. So it was the first mass-produced basketball shoe ever made, back when basketball was played in a cage and the ball still had laces. So it was originally called the Non-Skid. They rebranded it in 1919 to the All-Star. Chuck Taylor himself was a basketball player slash sales rep who joined Converse, suggested some design tweaks, and got his name on the ankle patch in 1932, and that patch is still there today. So here's what makes this shoe so weird. By the 1960s, every NBA player pretty much wore Chucks, but by the 70s and 80s, modern basketball shoes like the Adidas Superstar and Nike Blazer that were made with leather quickly passed the Chuck Taylor by. But punk rock, skaters, and rock musicians pretty much picked it up and never put it down. Like the Ramones wore them, Kurt Cobain wore them, skaters wore them because they were cheap, had a flat sole, and you didn't cry when you wrecked them. So skating adopted the Chuck Taylor long before Converse even thought of a skate shoe. Which raises the obvious question, if skaters have been skating regular Chucks for 60 plus years, then what is there even to improve? That's the bar Converse has to clear, and it's a weird bar because most skate redesigns are taking a shoe that isn't a skate shoe and making it one. This is a shoe that is already a skate shoe informally and making it official. Now here's where the Chuck 70 comes in, and why it matters for this comparison is because the Chuck 70 isn't a skate shoe, it's a premium Chuck. Thicker canvas, higher rubber foxing, better stitching. Converse released this in 2013 as a callback to the 1970s production spec. So better materials than the modern Chuck, but no performance upgrades. It's nostalgia in shoe form. And this makes the Chuck 70 the perfect control variable for this video. The standard Chuck is the cheap original, the Chuck 70 is what if we made the original better without changing the purpose, and the CONS is what if we changed the purpose entirely. Three shoes, almost the same silhouette, three completely different design philosophies, and when I cut them in half, the differences are way bigger than the outside lets on. So question one, what did Converse even change? So this is the question I have to answer first because the three shoes look nearly identical, so I need to find the changes before I can judge whether they're the right ones. So the fit, are they all made on the same last? Because they all look pretty similar, but also fairly different. For me, Converse are super long and super pointy, borderline clown shoes almost. I always have to size way down, and you can see that they're all pretty much the same shape. The Chuck 70 looks pointier because the foxing comes up higher, but they're all pretty much the same shape. They all feel a little bit different on too, but we're gonna get into that when we look into the insoles. So if we go to the upper, which is the most obvious changes, the standard Chuck is just thin canvas weave. It comes in at 0.6 millimeters. The Chuck 70 is a thicker canvas weave. It comes in at 1 millimeter. But if we look at the CONS, it's suede leather, and leather is a whole bunch of fibers interconnected, starting with the tightest at the top, and then it kind of gets looser as you go to the bottom. So suede is the bottom portion of the leather hide. It becomes suede when you split the hide apart, like you separate those top fibers, and then you're just left with the loose fibers. Most skate shoes opt for suede for three reasons. It's more abrasion resistant, its hairy fibers give it a natural grip on grip tape, and it's way cheaper than normal leather. So if we run all the durability tests on this to see what is actually the best, if we start with the puncture test, the Chucks came in at 38.5 pounds to puncture the canvas, the Chuck 70s come in at 40 pounds to puncture their canvas, and the CONS come in at 110 pounds. So it's almost triple the canvas pairs to puncture this leather upper. But if we take it to the abrasion test, which it's probably the most important test you can do, especially for skate shoes, because that's what gets worn out, you abrade it. You're not really puncturing your shoes too much unless you're kicking nails or kicking breaking fences. I don't know if you are. So pretty much we take a sample of each shoe, we cut it out, we put it on a machine that rubs it against Mob Grip, which is the grippiest grip. It's the grittiest grip tape. It really destroys your shoes. Anything above 1,000 strokes, I consider decent. It's like, okay, that's gonna be fine. Anything under 1,000 strokes, probably a little bit lacking and needs to be a little beefed up. So if we start with the normal Chucks, they take a meager 63 strokes to fail. The Chuck 70s take up a much better 190 strokes to fail, which is still pretty low, but pretty good for canvas. But the skate cons, which you think you'd be absolutely blowing these out of the water, comes in at a measly, a wildly disappointing 262 strokes, which is probably the lowest test we've ever run on any skate shoe, which is super disappointing. But to be honest with you, this leather looks not good. It looks really loose and it's like pilling up already, which is a sign of cheaper leather to me. But in fairness, where you actually kickflip is covered by rubber, but where you ollie is not. I mean, I've said it, it's just a little disappointing for like your skate upgrade. The most important part of your entire skate upgrade is failing just above canvas. But with all those disappointing results, it kind of leads me to something I've been working on, which is Patchworks, which is a customizable pig suede patch you can put on your shoes. This is actually my personal pair of the skate Chucks I've wore for a couple years. Pretty much all I did is made a triangle patch of pig suede leather, which is one of the most abrasion resistant materials we've ever tested. The pig suede goes through about 3,000 strokes, to put it in perspective. You get the patch, you put it where you ollie or your kickflip, you lace it through your eyelets to get maybe a little more eyelet protection on your laces as well. You cut it off at the outsole, you glue it on. It comes with 5 patches and a tube of shoe glue, so you can pretty much do whatever you want. And it extends the life of your shoe significantly. Like, you can make these canvas shoes into actual real skate shoes. Go from 63 strokes to 3,000, you pretty much got a skate shoe for $25 less and it will last you twice as long. And then the beauty of it is because it comes with 5 patches, once this wears through, you just peel it off and put another one on and you keep going. So your outsole and stuff will fail before your upper, which would be super great. So check those out. I'll put all the links in the description. Shout out to Anvil for allowing me to like run my business out of the shop and like use all of our stuff to cut everything out. So anyways, go extend the life of your shoes. Go pick up a patch kit, make yourself last longer. It's just that easy. And if we look at the rubber toe differences, the standard Chuck, it's about 1.5 millimeters thick, but it's also pretty slippery and slick. And the Chuck 70 is about 2 millimeters thick, but it's much stickier. I don't know if you can see the difference. This one's stickier than this. They're pretty similar, but this one's definitely stickier right off the bat. And if we go to the cons, it's about 1.5 millimeters thick as well, but it's also much stickier like the Chuck 70. So kind of your trade-offs with the upper are canvas is going to be much lighter and much more breathable and much cheaper. Suede is usually more durable, more abrasion resistant, and more puncture resistant. Suede will also stretch out quite a bit more and form to your foot, while the canvas will not. And canvas will definitely retain all of its structure a lot longer. And the stickier, softer rubber will give you more grip, but it's definitely going to wear out faster. So if we move to the lining of these shoes, so the inside of both the classic Chuck and the Chuck 70 is fully canvas lined, and you have both of your internal heel counters right here to kind of help you where you wear out that shoe the fastest. The Chuck 70s definitely comes up way higher. So on the cons, it has a fake leather collar, fake suede on the heel and tongue, and then it has textile on the toe and forefoot, and it doesn't have a dedicated counter cover like the other two. The cons version is also a little bit more padded throughout. It just feels like there's more padding compared to this. And honestly, I think I would prefer the canvas lining over the fake leather, because fake leather is pretty much just plastic really, and it makes me kind of hot and sweaty, and it does offer some protection for skating, like the slight padding. More than 0, but not a ton. So if I had to rank them, I'd probably go Chuck 70, standard Chuck, and then cons. I like the canvas lining more than all the fake leather. So if we move to the insoles, you can see that both the Chuck 70 and the normal cons have the same insole, so I'm just gonna use this one. It is this like denser foam wedge on top of the open cell foam right there. The Chuck 70 under that does have this full length foam layer where the normal Chuck does not. So the cons has a closed cell foam insole. It's more built for impact protection allegedly, but it's about the same thickness as the wedge insole, but all one density across the board. I really do like the cons insoles. I think they're pretty good. So this makes them fit slightly differently. The Chucks are kind of the baseline fit. The Chuck 70s will be a hair more snug because they do have the foam layer underneath, but this open cell foam will bottom out and get extra space faster than the cons because this open cell foam compresses more than this impact style insole the cons has. If we go to the bar drop test, it kind of proves the impact protection. Standard Chuck comes in at 5.75 inches. The Chuck 70s come in at 5.25 inches, so a little more dampening than the normal Chucks. And the cons come in at 1.5 inches, so they're definitely way more built for impact protection than the other two. So if I had to rank them, I'd probably go cons, Chuck 70, then standard Chuck. But if we move to the outsole and the construction, so all three are vulcanized, but the taping is pretty different on all of them. And vulcanization is when you have a piece of rubber, you put it on the bottom, and then you wrap another piece of rubber around the outsides called the foxing, then you put it in a big oven oven to cure, and there's chemicals in the autoclave oven, and it cures together to form one outsole. The one failure of vulcanized outsoles is that it'll start to split. Like, everyone's had a pair of shoes that, you know, you wear it too much and then this starts to split off. So on the standard Chuck, you can see the outsole, it does have that like fuzzy bottom. I think it's to classify them as slippers, where this is all fuzz here to avoid some import fees. All that fuzz does wear off, but I hate it. I do not like this outsole at all. The Chuck 70 is also Vulc. It doesn't have that horrible fuzzy stuff on it like the normal Chuck. The taping on this one does come up 5 millimeters higher than on this one. And on the Cons, you can see it also doesn't have that fuzzy outsole, but the taping is the exact same as the normal Chuck. So Chuck 70's higher taped than both of them, which I really like, honestly. If we go to the hardness of the outsoles, normal Cons comes in at 70 Shore, so pretty hard. The Chuck 70 also comes in at 70 Shore. The Cons comes in at 55 Shore, so much softer. So softer will be a lot grippier, but much less durable over the long run. So that's all we can see from the outside though. So let's cut them in half and see the rest of the changes and see what the best Chuck for your money is.
These are micro adjust belts, handmade right here in the shop by us. Premium leather, solid brass hardware, and the rounded buckle so it doesn't dig in your gut all day. But what is micro adjust? Well, the one problem everyone always has with their belts is one hole's too tight, one's too loose. These little adjustments right here allow you to adjust your belt by 1/2 inch increments so it fits you exactly how you want for the lifetime of the belt. So check them out below.
Let's start. I guess I only have 1/2 of the normal Chucks. So here's your normal Chucks. And the Chuck 70s. Finally, the grand reveal, the Converse Cons Chucks. So let's start going through these. So let's start with the normal Chuck. So you can see there's not much in here. You have your 6mm outsole right here. Then you have your insole, which is glued in. It's supposed to be non-removable. There's glue here that activates with heat. So the more you wear it, the less removable it will be. Then you have your counter, your synthetic counter with your counter cover. And that's pretty much it. It's just like canvas. There's a reason it's so cheap. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I suppose. Then if you go to the Chuck 70, you can see you have another 6mm outsole. You have this full length foam layer. You have the exact same insole as the normal Chuck. You can see how much higher their counter cover comes up over the normal Chuck. Not tons in this shoe. If we go to the Cons, so it has a 5.5mm outsole, so thinner than the other two, but it also has some egg crating in there. You can kind of see it right there. So it'll create maybe a little more squish. Not sure how much this actually does, but there'll be a little more squish. But other than that, you can see the lining, you can see everything. It's a pretty simple shoe. They're all pretty simple shoes. So what's the best Chuck for your money? Here's the answer to the question that I opened with, and it's not clean because Converse did half of it right and half of it wrong. Let's start with what they got right, which is the cushioning. So this is where the re-engineering is real. The closed cell foam insole dropped the bar test from almost 6 inches on the standard Chuck down to 1.5 inches, so it's definitely going to take impacts better. Then the grip, like the 55 Shore outsole is way softer than the standard Chuck, which is a deliberate grip call. You're going to want a lot more grip when you're skating than your normal shoes. Keep the board on your feet so you don't slip off and die. Throw in the egg crating and you've got by a mile the most cushioned, most impact ready Chuck of all three. If the whole shoe lived up to the guts, this would be an easy recommendation. But here's the controversial part, the part where they did it wrong. Everything around the good cushioning is where Cons fails. Start with the upper. Suede is supposed to be the durability upgrade, and on paper it is. Triple the puncture resistance of canvas, but the abrasion test told the real story. It's probably the worst test we've run, and it's barely better than the Chuck 70, which is just thick canvas. For the one material change that's supposed to justify the suede and the price, watching it shred like that, it's the moment the premium skate shoe pitch starts to fall apart, and honestly, the outsole's so soft, it would be super beneficial to have it even 1mm thicker. It's probably done in the name of more board feel, but this is an instance where millimeters really do matter. So then the lining, which is honestly worse. Converse wrapped the nice insole in fake leather and fake suede, which is plastic. It's hot, it's sweaty, there's no dedicated heel counter. Credit where credit is due. In my pairs, I didn't wear through that back heel yet, and I wore these for about 2 years. But I think I'd still take the canvas lining over this fake lining every day. And that's the whole problem in one sentence, is Converse nailed the part of the shoe you can't see. key. But they cut corners on the part that you actually live in, so super good cushioning, wrapped in an upper that will disintegrate and a lining that makes your foot sweat. So all the improvements for skating are buried under execution that doesn't actually hold up. So I think the Chuck 70 with the higher taping will actually perform just as well as the CONS version. So the perfect blend, when you take the Chuck 70 upper and taping, you put the Converse CONS insole and outsole on the Chuck 70 with an added, millimeter or two for a little bit of extra durability. And it's really close, but it's not quite there to really impress. So best for wearing, I'm definitely going Chuck 70. Best for skating, honestly, the Chuck 70 I think is still gonna be better for skating than this. It's funny because I was kind of dissing the other Converse skate shoe that we did, the 1-Star Pro, and that 1-Star Pro makes this shoe look terrible. Let me know what you guys think about all of them. I have friends who are die hard about Chuck 70 is the best CONS of all time. They won't wear anything else. Let me know what your experiences is, what other Converse CONS skate shoes we should cut. I think we've cut just about all of them. And let me know what other content you guys want to see. So anyways, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. And that's it for me. Peace.